Did you hear him say that he wrote that one?
Yes.
Wow, beautiful. Stuff keeps pouring out of him, he told me. All these new songs keep pouring out of him. That's wonderful. Sometimes I sit here before service or before it's time for the message, and I think 1,000 different things I can say besides what I've already prepared. So sometimes it's good that I have an outline to keep me focused, because the practitioner says something beautiful and I want to go off on that, and the song says something beautiful and I want to go off on that. So let me start with actually something you did say. Peace in the eye of the storm. It seems to me that there's a lot of storms raging for people personally and collectively. Personally, I hear about illnesses, some that are pretty big in our human life. I hear about relationships falling apart. I hear about people who are lonely or hungry. There's a lot of personal storms happening. Collectively, boy, we are seeing a whole lot of storms collectively. Literally, with all the hurricanes that we just experienced on this planet. Storms in the sense of how people are feeling. Right now, there's a lot of political divide happening, and that's riling a lot of people up. We are seeing things like racism coming to a bigger head than it's been in a long time. There's a lot of collective storms happening that are calling us to that eye at the center, that eye of peace at the center. And when I lit the candle, I said I'm lighting the candle for something that is easy, or not easy, I said it's comfortable or it's familiar, that we hear this word, but sometimes it's really hard to do, and that's the word faith. And that's what this is all about, being able to have faith, being able to find peace at the center of the storm. One recent collective storm was the mass shootings that just happened in Las Vegas. I knew somebody personally there who died. So when it hits that close to home, it really, really riles one up. Now, I wasn't a good friend of this man, but he was mine and Becky's mortgage broker. So he helped us get a great new refinance. Him and his 2 children took dance lessons at the studio where I teach. And he himself took the dad's hip hop class. So he was one of our studio family. And he was somebody that we knew. Can you even imagine that you're the spouse and your beloved goes off to see a country western concert and never comes home? It riles me up, and it challenges me to find that peace at the center of the storm. It challenges me to find the faith that I lit this candle for. It challenges me. And in what you read on it, you said, if we want to seek God everywhere, sometimes we have to be uncomfortable. Dang. But it's true in a lot of ways. When our life is just flowing, comfortable, hunky-dory, we often don't challenge ourselves to grow. Have you noticed? It takes some really icky stuff sometimes to make us grow. I don't think that's God-ordained. It just seems to be the way it is on this planet. Now, I love the times when it's easy and flowing, and I'm grateful for those times. But it's true that we get complacent, yes? So I think that right now we are getting a huge wake-up call. We are in that uncomfortable place. We're getting some kicks in the tush right now so that we will wake up, personally and collectively. I hear people saying that they're trying to make sense of it, trying to make sense of something like these mass shootings. You want to know my belief about that? You can't. There is no sense to be made of it. So don't try to make sense of it. We, as loving, kind, spiritually seeking, law-abiding, good citizens in this room, and I'm sure all the people you know personally, we cannot make sense of it because it makes no sense. I don't think we can make sense of it ever. What I'm doing right now, and I'm going to invite you to do, is grieve it. Grieve it. Don't bury your head in the sand. And don't pretend like it didn't happen. Grieve it. And then when we grieve it, when we're done with that, we don't want to stay there forever. We want to acknowledge it. We want to say, this really hurts. And I don't understand. And I feel lost. And I feel confused. And I feel angry. And I feel sad. And I feel hopeless. Whatever you might be feeling in all of that. Feel it for a time. Let yourself grieve it, because sticking your head in the sand and denying it helps you not. It doesn't do anything. So I am a very big advocate in saying you must grieve something like that first. Then once we're done grieving it, then we move on. We go back into that sense of the wake-up call. And what am I going to do? How am I going to stand in my faith? How am I going to see God everywhere I look? When I look at that and think, wow, that is very challenging. So if you're feeling that way, I want you to know you are not alone. I'm looking around the room at a lot of heads nodding. We are in this together in one way, shape, or form. We just don't want to stay stuck in it. One of the things that I have been using lately is a variation on the Serenity Prayer, which AA groups use all the time. You might have recognized or known about the Serenity Prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Here's my variation of it. Oops, that's not it. Where is it? Go back. Go. Oh, we lost it. All right. It's in there somewhere. There we go. All right. This is my version. I have the serenity to accept what I cannot change. I have the courage to change the things I can. I have the wisdom to know the difference. If you're new here, we put a high value on our beliefs. We also believe that God is incarnate inside of us. That we don't have to say, God, grant it to me, because it is already the truth. But we have lost sight of it. So the bold I have this already, is a very affirmative statement that I have the serenity to accept what I cannot change. Right, well, I'll tell you the number one thing that we cannot change, other people.
Bummer.
Darn it.
Bummer, that's right. Don't we want to? I cannot change other people. So do I have the serenity to accept that I cannot change other people? If I'm honest, some days, yes, I have that serenity. Other days, I don't. However, we want to claim it as our truth, because as we claim it, we make it so. Yes? Yes. I have the courage to change the things I can. What can I change? Well, I can get involved in social action. I can vote. I can help other people. I can be the servant that the song was talking about. I can help somebody else grieve. I can be there for somebody else. Have the courage to do the things I can. I can speak up, even if it's with my own family, and I'm afraid to say it. I can speak up. I have the courage to change what I can, and I have the wisdom to know the difference. Oh my goodness, that last part buckles my knees. I have the wisdom to know the difference. That takes a whole lot of wisdom, doesn't it? To stand in our own awareness and say, can I change this? Can I not change this? Can I change this? Can I not? Because sometimes we try to change things that we can't. We try to change people. We try to change people's perspective on things. Sometimes we fight for it. We scratch at it. We want so badly to do that, but we can't. And there's where the wisdom comes in. So this has been helping me a whole lot. A few other things that I offer as tools, and this is what today is all about, is increasing our faith. Increasing our faith in something greater than we are. Increasing our consciousness that says, I am aware of that something greater inside of me. I am aware of that something right here where I am. And then also, to lighten up, so I can share my light. You see? When I notice when I get caught in it and I get too heavy in it, I was like, Sean, lighten up. Lighten up, because you're not going to be able to share your light with anybody if you're holding on to it real tight. Lighten up. So sometimes